Hello everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to another episode of New Music Finds number 36. And so this is where I like to collect together all the new music purchases that I've made over the past week and present it to you. And of course I go to my local record stores, but as those are getting fewer and far between, I am branching out, and so I do a lot of purchases from Amazon, eBay, and different online retailers like that. For this past week I have 11 new music finds to go through with you. 5 new releases, 3 from eBay, and then 3 that just came in. So I'm going to be opening up and seeing what I got live with you right here. During this, I thought this would be something a little different for you. And so before we jump into all of that though, if you are new to my channel and haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by subscribing, you'll be able to stay up to date on all that's going on in the world of music, just like this with New Music Finds, episode number 36. So, as always, we kick off with new releases, and the first one up goes to the Rolling Stones Tattoo You Deluxe Edition. This is the 2 CD Deluxe Edition of it. So, of course, this is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. Came out in 1981. 18th studio album in the US. And while the album itself, Tattoo You, is really good, I've always really enjoyed it. I think it's one of the strongest releases, even though it was actually comprised of B-sides, outtakes, things like that, that they finished off and worked into an album at the time. Now, the cool thing is, for this 40th anniversary, they went back into the vaults and did the same thing. Dusted off a bunch of songs that are from that same era that weren't finished, that might have only been in sketch version, instrumental, didn't have vocals on it, and they finished them off for this. So there's a bonus disc added to the Tattoo You Deluxe Edition called Lost and Found. It's got 9 unreleased tracks on it that they did just that with it. So for me at least, it's almost like getting a brand new Rolling Stones album, and that is why, for me at least, this is such a big release and such an enjoyable one at that. The tracks are really good. I do recommend it. I have done a full review on it. I'm going to leave a link in the description below if you want to check out more about that. All right, the next new release that I picked up goes to Duran, Future Past. This one here, 15th studio album from them in first in 6 years. Really, really good stuff. If you're a fan of Duran, I think you're going to enjoy it. But also if you're a fan of the classic era, this one here I think does a really nice job bridging the two eras, the 80s period as well as the more modern sounds. And they do it really well. Probably the best they've ever done it before, in my opinion. So this one here has also got a couple cool guests on it I want to mention. Mike Garson is on here. He plays piano. He's probably most well known for having played with David Bowie, but he's also played with Smashing Pumpkins and Nine Inch Nails. So great to have him on this. And Graham Coxon of Blur plays guitar on the whole album. So really great that they brought him, and I think it added a very fresh feel to it. And this one here is a deluxe edition that comes with 3 bonus tracks. And the reason I like this, or wanted to point it out, is they actually intersperse the 3 bonus tracks throughout. So it's not just tacked on at the end. They actually resequence the album with those 3 extra added tracks to it, and I think it does nicely having those tracks the way that they are within it. I don't feel there's any filler on it. I think that the 3 bonus tracks on here are just as good as the rest of the material that's on this. So if you're interested in that, do check it out. I've also done a full review for that, and we'll leave a link in the description below for it. Okay, and the next one, Dream Theater, A View from the Top of the World. This one here is their 15th studio album. Really, really good stuff as well on this one. It was just a big week overall. The October 22nd release date, which is where these are coming from, this previous Friday here. A lot of good stuff came out. This one included, it's only got 7 tracks on it, but these are definitely the long form style. Shortest track is 6 minutes and 25 seconds. Longest song is 20 minutes and 24 seconds. And that one, which is the title track, is the real gem that's on this. It is very epic and amazing in nature and what they do with it. The fluidity of the different styles and pieces that they move between on it is really impressive. So it is the follow-up to their last one, Distance Over Time, which came out in 2019. And part of why I'm mentioning that is that when COVID happened and they couldn't go out on tour, they went back into the studio to make a new album. So this is what we are getting from them now, having spent the last year and a half in a studio working on this, not being able to tour. pretty amazing. I really like when bands do that. They weren't able to be creative performing live, so they went into the studio and they did it that way. And this album here has definitely been worth what they've done, and glad to get a second album from them in such quick succession. All right, next new release that came out that was also really good, Udo, Game Over. This one here, 17th studio album by the former Accept frontman. Really, really good. This one surprised me. I've always been a fan of Udo and I like what he does, but this one here, the guitars on this are just really great. So they added a second guitarist on this one. They've got the same guitarist from the last album, but then they've added another guy in here, and don't know who it is that's doing the amazing guitar work on this, or if it's both, they're trading off, but very, very good stuff, and I do recommend it. All right, and then the last new release that I picked up is another cool one, Armored Saint, Symbol of Salvation live. They're performing their fourth studio album full in its entirety, done live, and that's always been my favorite studio album, next to maybe Delirious Nomad that you can see there down at the bottom. But this has a CD and DVD, and they perform the whole thing in it, so another cool thing to get a hold of there. Now we move over to eBay, where I've been digging into some different things and picking up some stuff that's out of print and stuff like that. And if you've watched some of my previous episodes on this, you know that I've been digging into promotional album samplers and hunting a bunch of those down, and so I picked up another one here. This one from Yes, selections from In a Word, and so you can see the full box set back there behind me. This is a selections from that, and it's on the Atlantic, or actually it's Electro, but Rhino put it together, and it's got 11 tracks on it and spans from 69 to 1991. Now the box set itself went all the way to 2001, so I don't know why they stopped at the 1991, and it's probably why I mentioned Atlantic, because those were the Atlantic era albums, 69 up to 91 there. But still a cool collection, and I have to say, I don't know what it is, but the sound quality on this is outstanding. It is just amazing. I think it's better quality than the discs that are in the box set. I'm not sure what it is, but I just put it on and it sounds pristine and crisp. It's almost like Steve Wilson did a remix for this disc before I got it or something. I don't know what's going on, but it's really cool and definitely a good addition to my collection. All right, then I picked up another out-of-print album from the Fix, Elemental. This one is their 1998 studio album. It was their 7th album at the time. Came out on the CMC label. Very good stuff in my opinion. It was a little modernized for the time. That's what CMC was always pushing their bands to do. But opening track on here, 2 different views. If you're not familiar with this album, or you want to know something from it, that song is really, really great. It's got a very classic feel to it from the 80s. That one just sucked me right in on it. So haven't had the album in a long time. It was one that I had years ago, and for whatever reason I got rid of it. Had always regretted it. It's been very hard to come by, so I tracked one down and finally picked it up. All right, and then I've also been adding to my collection, fleshing out some of these compilations from CMC, and I picked this one up here, this Dokken Then and Now from 2002. And this was a whole series that they were doing at the time, and they were putting them together by any of the bands, so I got one from Fix. That was in last week's New Music Finds that I showed you guys. And so this one here, 12 tracks, but this one spans 5 albums that they put out on the CMC label between 1996 and 2002. So it's 2 different live albums, 1 live full concert, 1 live acoustic, and 3 studio albums. So kind of cool. They definitely focus heavily on the live tracks and alternate live studio that way on it. Nothing new, nothing that isn't on the albums, but just nice to have a collection from that era, that later 90s period that I can pull out whenever I want to. All right, so now to the real meat and potatoes, the stuff I'm excited for. When I got home from work tonight, these were in my mailbox, and really excited for this stuff here. So we're gonna start with the 2 that have come from Amazon, and we'll dive into this. So jump in here, let's see what we got. Oh, excellent. So, you know, because I was listening to the Rolling Stones with Tattoo You, I wanted some more Stones, so I've actually ordered some of the earlier 60s era albums that I don't have. Between the Buttons, this one is remastered from the ABKCO records. Okay, one of the ones that I didn't have, but this one's got Let's Spend the Night Together, Ruby Tuesday, Connection, and a bunch of other really good ones on it. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. For whatever reason, I definitely was feeling more of a 60s era vibe from the Stones with the Tattoo You, the new tracks, and so I've been listening to that, whereas I came into the Stones in '89 and definitely enjoyed their 90s era, like the Bridges to Babylon and stuff like that. So kind of interesting, but I was just really enjoying the 60s era stuff and doing that. So let's go into the next one here and see what we got. Good. This is the one I really wanted. I didn't know this was going to come so fast. This is a Japanese import, one of the HMCD ones, Sucking in the 70s. So compilation that's out of print, or has been out of print for a long time, and it's back in print. And let's see if I can actually open this real quick for you, just carefully, because I don't want to damage it, but I want to tell you the tracks that are on this. So retro style vinyl replica type thing here, but this has a whole bunch of tracks out of the 70s on it, and it's not giving me the information right here, but what I was going to point out is that it's got a lot of edits, and it's got a couple unreleased tracks, and so those edits and the unreleased tracks don't appear on anything else. And so when I found that out doing my research on this, as I was kind of getting ready, gearing up for the Tattoo You release, I was sort of interested and wanted to hear those, and again, have a different type of a compilation that I can enjoy, that's not just the run-of-the-mill type best of that they're doing now. You know, now after they've been around 50 going on 60 years, you get kind of the same hits on every single compilation. Some of these older ones do it nicely. And then I've got this one here. I think I know what this is, but we're going to see here. So let's see what we got. Oh, excellent. Okay, so this is a cool one. Another, remember I told you, I've gotten into ordering these sampler ones. Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. So we had a box set out in, if I can see the print, 2005, it looks like. And this has 8 tracks from it, and it kicks off with 2 of the cover songs that he was doing at the time, 21st Century Schizoid Man, Mississippi Queen, and then he goes into I Don't Know Live, and then it's got Crazy Train. You can't have a sampler without that on it, but it's got Pictures of Matchstick Men, so a B-side there, See You on the Other Side, No More Tears, and Dreamer. Just a cool little collection that I thought I would enjoy having, that's again different than the other ones that are out there. But I like these sampler ones. Not open yet. I'm going to dig into this later, but so cool. I got some extra promo things. I got a Japanese import that I was really digging and hoping I would get soon, but I didn't expect to get it this soon. And then I got all the rest of the stuff that I've got there. So hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you did, certainly remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to check the description for links to related videos, in particular those the Rolling Stones, the Duran, and the Dream Theater. Full reviews of those, links in the description below. And certainly if you've enjoyed this video, please share it out on social media. Help spread the word that way. I would also appreciate it. All right, everyone, take care. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you all real soon. Bye-bye.